So I would love to have a more polished version of these kind of videos, but I actually really like the raw, just pull out a phone and document it portion of it, where I just quite literally will just record as I go and not like sit down in front of a camera and like have a super high quality production value within that. So hopefully you guys get some value out of this, but I'm just sharing my experiences on things that I've learned throughout the journey, and this is more or less like a part 2 of the last video that was just uploaded, and talking about like saving money, investing, and things like that. So the big thing that we've been aware of recently is, while it would be great, right, to save, let's say we make $80,000 and our expenses all in with our house and our kids and everything is, 50 or 60,000, right? And our goal isn't to become this scrimper and saver where we're like literally paying, $2,000 a month and like living off of a box of ramen and Pop-Tarts every single day. Like, yeah, I mean, we do want to live a good life, but I would consider us very disciplined in the way that we handle our finances, but it's not to the point where where we're prisoners of our own lifestyle and like we've created this like box in which we live. So I think I have to see, but I think we're at like $60,000 a year in expenses. It's definitely not the lowest amount possible, but that's like including if we didn't have any sort of reimbursements through our business or anything like that, like all in, I think our expenses are at about 60,000. And that includes mortgage and everything, like if we paid it ourselves. But the thing is, we have a mortgage, it's just for the sake of math, it's like $3,000, which is not cheap. It's like a very, big house, but we also house hack, so it reduces our mortgage by half. So it's like $1,500. I factor in the number as if it's $3,000. So when I say like 60,000, that means like if there is no reimbursements necessary or possible at all. So point being, our expenses are right about 60,000. We make, I don't want to give exact numbers. But it would be valuable to give you guys an insight. I think we're right about $100,000 gross income, joint income. And maybe, some months much better. Like, some months we might be on track to make 120, and it's like, it's not bad. But with that, there's 2 trains of thought. It's like, okay, let's scrimp and save and live off of the lowest minimum amount possible and just freaking struggle our way to financial freedom. And my understanding of that and what I want out of our family's life is I don't want to be to the point where we're living off of, freaking just water, ramen, and Pop-Tarts every day. I would like to live a little bit, not to the point where we're like going out to concerts all the time, but like live a guilt-free lifestyle, and one that we know we're still putting money away for our future. Meaning, instead of us trying to save as much money as possible, we are flipping it and saying, okay, how about we just put a plan in place, put a system in place to where we can make the money that we want, but still be strategic in like how we grow. So instead of us saving a bunch of money, we're just focused on earning more money. So with me at my sales job, that's pretty simple. Just sell more projects, sell more products, sell more of whatever I'm doing. But within the business, we have a vending machine business that's doing pretty well. I think we're making like $2,000 a month from that, which is pretty cool. But the fun part about the vending machine business, now that I found someone that can actually help us like move the machines around and stuff, is when you have low performers, you can just move them to a different location that make more money. So one of our lowest locations makes like $200 a month, and we can very easily just put it in contact that person. They'll help us move it, get it to where it needs to go, and we can make $700, $1,000 a month, and like just like that, you can 5x your revenue from that machine or from those machines, which is awesome. And going back to like our jobs, there's a few ways that you can make more income. It's harder in the corporate world because you can't really control much. It's just like hourly pay. You can work more hours, or if it's salaried, nothing really you can do. That's why I prefer to find sales roles because it provides the most amount of return on your time, because you just sell more. And that would make a life much more feasible, because we can keep our $60,000 expenses, which is more than enough for us to live a good life in terms of everything that we do, because we bucket everything financially. We have like our adventure fund for trips. We put like $300-400 a month from that. We have budgeted for our kid, you know, for miscellaneous expenses and things that she might want, our dog, random restaurants, groceries, like home purchases. We try to bucket everything possible that we can think of in bank accounts, so that come the end of the month we can reimburse that the bank account, so that we know like, hey, we have this money, but if we go over it, we have to pull from other accounts to like make up for that, and then lower that budget for the other account. Let's say if we go over budget for groceries, we have to take away from restaurants or things like that. You get the idea. And that way we can keep our $60,000 expense lifestyle, but still, you know, now it's like, cool, now we just make more money and put more of that money away for our investments and like long-term growth. So that's where we're currently at. And our goals moving forward have, they shift constantly, and like it's partially my fault as far as me thinking of like, oh, this brand new thing is going to be so fun. The problem that I was able to figure out going into VCon with Gary Vaynerchuk's, you know, conference, probably my favorite thing I ever go to, because of how much value I get out of it, is the big question I was trying to figure out is how can I stay more consistent, and why do I jump from thing to thing so often? Simply because I don't like what I do, or I don't love what I do. So I feel like I need to find the next best thing to like complement that. So whenever I focus on the things that I know I can do and I'm really good at, it makes sticking to the thing way easier. So because of that realization, I've focused and doubled down on like content, not necessarily like YouTube, but more so like written word, because I can pump out blog posts like crazy. And I may not see the results in 3 months or 6 months, but the fun thing about blogging and affiliate marketing and everything like that is once it's done, it's done. And same with content, you know, in long form YouTube and stuff. But as you can tell, my YouTube channel won't grow like crazy because I film these types of videos, and that's okay. Like, I don't care. I would love for it to grow exponentially by like putting out these crazy videos and I'm editing and all this sort of stuff. But if my growth path is more aligned with the things that I find passionate or like I like, then that's cool. It takes me however long it'll take me, but at least I'm doing it because I like it. So that was a big takeaway from VCon and like my experiences with the income side of things. And that's exactly where I want us to focus moving forward. Not necessarily saving $10,000 and like, you know, really struggling to like live any sort of good life, like go and you know, I guess we could go on the extreme and like not go out ever, never go to a restaurant, never go on a trip for months or years, and maybe we'll get there in like 6 months sooner to our financial freedom goal. Or we just keep our expenses the same with our bucketed strategy that we already have. What we put away right now is plenty. Like it $300 for each of our accounts every single month for like personal spending, gifts, whatever. And we have a gift fund too. But instead of us saving $10,000, we could just earn $100,000 or $200,000 more. It's like, I would rather do that, because it gets to the point where you can only save so much before it's like, okay, we've saved a good chunk and we have enough of a budgeted amount for all these expenses currently monthly. Let's just earn more money. And if that's take on 2 jobs or 2 full-time jobs or, you know, whatever, like that's what we would do. And that's what we need to do, because we need to find other ways to supplement our money. That's why we house hack, we reduce our housing expense, and we rent out some storage in our property. Like there's other things that you can do to supplement your income, reduce your expenses, while also like putting that savings away for the future. So that is stream of consciousness, current mindset of where we're at, what we're looking to do. And big takeaway, follow your passion, because that is going to keep the consistency for you and you won't get shiny object syndrome. So like and follow for more. Thanks.